Hey, welcome to our video about Vang Vieng. In Vang Vieng there are lots of different blue lagoons that you can go and visit. They very handily number them from, I think it's like Blue Lagoon 1 maybe through to like Blue Lagoon 6 or something. We chose Blue Lagoon 2 and Blue Lagoon 4 because we like even numbers. Just joking, we're not that lame. But Blue Lagoon 2 was the first place we went to and it was really cool. The drive, most of the drive was fairly easy, but then the road was pretty bumpy after a while, and the bike that we hired was not, well, it just wasn't the best bike, so it was, as the back passenger, was not very comfortable, but it was worth it when we got there. It was a really cool area. The actual lagoon itself was a bit strange because it looked like they'd put some kind of colouring in the water. It just looked really artificial, and especially when everywhere else around it was a different colour. And then you go to this lagoon and oh look, it's magically very blue. So to me it had a bit of a weird smell as well. But anyway, going off on a bit of a tangent, but the actual like area to swim, it was massive. There's a couple of different platforms that you can jump in from. One of them is really high, so if you're interested in jumping off like super high platforms, and even if you're not, like me and Jim didn't jump in from there, but it was quite fun to sit in the sun and just watch people like get the balls to do it. So that was quite fun. And yeah, we just hung out there for about an hour, just sort of sat in the sun and chilled for a bit. As we were driving back, we actually came across a local cave, which we thought might as well go and check it out. So the cave that we went to, it was owned by the sweetest local guy. He was so lovely, and he just sort of gave us a head torch and sort of pointed us in the direction that we needed to go. We got there, and obviously we should have realised by being given a head torch that the cave was just pitch black. Normally fine, I guess. Not really, I get a bit claustrophobic, so caves aren't my favourite places. But it was just so dark. The entrance to get into the cave was fairly small. You kind of had to crouch down and go in. So already that made me feel a little bit nervous. And then you walk in 2 foot and it's really hot. The air just feels really thick. And then it's obviously pitch black. It's creepy as hell. And it was a bit creepy because I don't know whether people, like what people would put in their hand in to make this, but there were handprints all over the wall. So yeah, when you're alone, it's quiet and there's just creepy handprints everywhere. It's a bit weird. I probably went like 10 foot into the cave and it was just too much for me. It was too tight. So I was like, I'm gonna wait outside. And then, you know, it's not so fun to explore a cave on your own. And it's hella creepy, so we had a little small look around, and then outside of the cave there was a small pool of water that you could swim in. It was clean water. We had just been to Blue Lagoon 2 and I just got dry, so I was like, okay, I'll sort of dip my feet in and whatever, but I wasn't that keen to swim. Jim had the time of his life. He had a little skinny dip swim around the pool. He initially went in just for like a second and then was going to put his shorts on, but then obviously a bit fun for me, I sort of stole his shorts and put them quite far away, so he had to get out to get them. But yeah, he had a great time. And actually, just as he got out of the water and, you know, covered himself with a towel and got dressed, just that second someone arrived, so it was perfectly timed. As I said before, we also went to Blue Lagoon number 4. The reason why we actually went there was because it's near Elephant Cave, and in Elephant Cave there is basically a rock that's in the shape of an elephant. But the actual lagoon itself was really fun. It was a lot bigger than Blue Lagoon 2. I think it was anyway. But there was also a lot more to do there, so it made it a funner place to hang out. We decided to go quite early in the morning. So it meant that it wasn't as hot, because obviously it gets hot sort of just past lunchtime, or like the hottest. But it meant that there was me and Jim, and we were the only people that were actually in the water. And I think there were only two other people there that were just sort of sat on the side. So it was really cool for us. And yeah, there were like platforms to jump in from. You could zip line across the water. So Jim really enjoyed doing that. And there was also the inner tube, so you can sit on the tube and sort of float around the water. So it was a really nice place, and again the people that were working there were really friendly and really lovely as well. So it was a nice place to spend the morning. And just as we were leaving as well was when the hordes of buses were arriving, so perfectly timed. Whilst we were just sort of walking around the town throughout the days, we saw a lot of people advertising these huge buggies that you can hire. So we hired a hot pink buggy, and it was great. The actual car itself was just the most insane looking thing. It was so funny driving it around because obviously everyone's staring at you, especially the locals, probably thinking we're absolute idiots in this massive vehicle because it was really loud as well. It drove like a piece of crap. It was awful to drive because it just had a mind of its own. Like if you let go of the steering wheel, most cars, you know, just sort of stays fairly steady. This steering wheel was just going all over. It was insane. Yeah, so like I said, not the best to drive, but it was quite fun. And we just sort of drove around. We rented it just for 4 hours. And we had a drive around. It was perfect on the dirt roads as well, so it was cool when we went to the lagoons because a lot of them the roads are a bit rubbish just before you get there. And yeah, we had a lot of fun. There was also a Bluetooth speaker as well, so we could listen to music. And we didn't film it, but at one point we even like let a guy get on the back and gave him a lift to the main town. So yeah, it was fun. It was a funny 4 hours with the buggy.
Looking good.
Vang Vieng has a bit of a reputation about being a party town, and it definitely is. You know, there's definitely that kind of atmosphere at night. But if you're like us, old, and you want to go somewhere but not kind of partake in that party scene, you can still have a lot of fun in Vang Vieng without having to get drunk. So yeah, if you're in Laos and you don't want to drink and you think I'm going to skip past Vang Vieng, just check it out for a few days. It's worth it. We had fun. That's it. Goodbye. Off you go. See ya. I thought that was like pigs dying, but I think it's just a wheel or something.
Yeah, I think it is.
Bye.